Top of the morning, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. It's your boy Big Singleton Beast. Um, I'm bringing to you today's title, Fear Nothing But Shelter. I know you're wondering what I mean by that, and I'm going to open it up with why God said, Fear no man. It's because once you live amongst the wild and in the open and in the world, you live with the animals, amongst the snakes, whatever it is that creeps and crawls. And in that point, at that point, you have learned everything. You have manned everything. Became one with the world. So in that point, there's no need to fear, but fear itself. And why is that so? Is because fear is a killer. Fear has stopped a lot of people from doing and living with their dreams, living what they want to do, whether it's camping or whether it's staying out in the world. They are afraid to go amongst the wild and go out into the world like that is because they have been sheltered. You know, we all think it's cool having houses and all this and whatnot, but actually we have deprived ourselves and made ourselves also fearful of what lies outside, and Adam and Eve, they didn't have those fears. They lived amongst the outdoors and grew with the world. Lions, tigers, bears. They was able to talk to, control, and all those things because see, you grow with them from birth. So at this point, you can grow a relationship with a lion, tiger, or bear. I mean, many of us have seen it. Where a guy has a lion at home or a tiger or whatnot, and he's had it since a baby, and and they're buddies. Ain't nothing you can do. You get close to the owner, the tiger or it might growl. The lion might growl. You know, the only time you really hear a lot where people end up getting hurt, is when they didn't really grow with that animal. You know what I mean? They called it wild, feral. You know, and with anything feral, you have to worry about surprises. You know what I mean? That's like you meet a person you ain't met. You don't know this person. He's 30 years old. So you don't know how he was from 1 to 30. You know. So I mean, that's something to be fearful of because you don't know what this person may or may not do. You know. But then again, fear is a killer. And once you put yourself out there amongst the world and live, you have lesser things to be fearful of. And that's fact. I've been out in the world, I've lived, I've been out on the streets, homeless, I've been out on the streets slanging, all wee hours of the night. I've had my trials and my tribulations, a little small time in pimping, where I had to be out there with the broad, you know what I mean, the young lady, what me say, and keep an eye out and collecting benefits and whatnot until I ended up discovering something else and how we ended up inheriting that trait. That's another subject of mine. You can find that on YouTube. Why you shouldn't pimp, basically. I think that's the title is. But you'll see it. But anyway, excuse me. The day that you're sheltered up in a big house, modern homes, and all that worldly stuff is the day that you begin to grow fear. You know. But the day that you leave that wormhole that you call a home and truly live amongst the world, we talk about homeless people, and all the bums and all that. But see, these people really, they got something that you don't, and they don't fear anything. We call them crazy or and all that. Or they hard or whatever. But nah, I mean, that's a good. You can title it however you want to, but actually, they have grown amongst the world to see there's not many things to be fearful of. You know, you live a certain way, you really know the consequences of what you're doing, you can come more at ease to the outcome of it, no matter what you decide to do. And you may call that person crazy or whatever, but see, they have learned not to have any fear because they have accepted what they're doing or whatnot, whether it's right or wrong, you know. But a lot of people have these fears and do not know why. And that's because you shelter yourself. You know what I mean? And another thing that you lose is a spiritual connection with God. I mean, the homeless, the hobos, you want to call them, whatever, they have a spiritual connection, whether you believe it or not. You know, they are smarter, in a lot of ways than we are, whether you believe it or not. You look down upon them because they're out there in the world and they're homeless, but see, they understand something that we don't, that the world was given to us, and they can find a fruit tree, an apple tree, lemon tree, and still live like Adam and Eve once lived and go grab up the fruit, and eat and not have to be, starving and stuff like that. That's it, they still showing you how it was supposed to be. We have allowed people, government, to corner the market and make us have to pay and buy certain things that God created and gave to us, So therefore, a lot of us don't choose to walk the world free, because you have to pay for a lot of food nowadays. Even the things that grow on trees that God put here, no man can control how to grow. No man could make a seed. You can put your plants in a box and make them the nice, cleanest plants all you want or whatever, but still at the end of the day, you do not hold the design to that. They don't hold the design to a make of a tree. And for us to allow them to take that from us and make us pay for it is something that I'll never understand, But we need to regain that back. But that's another story. I'm going to stick to this here fear factor. And the reason why you need to work on more of getting out into the world, not to do nothing bad, necessarily, but some of us, we lived a certain lifestyle, and it might have been bad. The reason why we've been amongst the world and we don't have these fears anymore, But there's other things that you can do, like I say, take your family camping, go fishing, rock climbing, start living more in tune to the earth, Don't be afraid of what God has given you, You see a baby cub out there, hey, you can mother it, you know what I mean? And that cub will protect you, you know what I mean? We see the tail end of outcomes where they have intervened or grabbed a species of animal once it was already an adult and had to defend itself out in the wild, and you can make a certain hand gesture, anything that may trigger that animal now. You know what I'm saying, at this point, because it's been so far gone. But once you have a dog or cat, lion, anything at a baby stage, you can grow with it, He understand or she understand and love you, you know what I mean? And people will sit back in awe because we see all these bad things, you know what I mean? And that's not necessarily how it has to be for you. As you see, there's many people out there that owns animals that you wouldn't want to own yourself, per se, but even from your snakes. If a person can man a snake and you can handle the snake, ferrets, birds, who are all supposed to be at one and not be, we don't need to fear these animals, because they are supposed to be, we're all supposed to be one. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to say control, because control has gotten us to where we're fighting against each other and all the stuff that we're going through today. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't want to say control, but we'd be at one, with the world, if we wasn't so sheltered, And I'm going to end that like that. And I hope that I hope that is a little food for thought, you know what I mean? And y'all can ponder on that, give me a little feedback on how you feel on that. But fear nothing but shelter, man. You know, that's what I say. Y'all have a blessed day. One.